Welcome to my new series of Minecraft and Buildcraft in VR. I'm going to be showing you, for the first episode, a tour of what I have built so far. I've started a world, and I've got quite a few hours in it, but I decided to start recording, and I'll show you a big tour of what I've done so far, and then the rest of the videos from here on out will all be me building a new system or a new building to continue on with the factory. So let me hop in quick. And here we are. And let me start the tutorial over there. So these are all second tier engines. They're just powered by coal, and the coal comes in from the other room, which I'll show in a second, but it just feeds the first engine that needs fuel, and then they feed the output pipe, which is energy, which I'll also show in a second, and that switch here controls all the engines to turn on and off at once. You can see I got the redstone torches beneath them. Over here is where the fuel comes in, and this will be probably my first project that I work on with you, because I have a little bit of a problem with it that I need to fix. But basically what happens is wood comes in and it gets dispersed into these two furnaces, which will turn the wood into charcoal and send it out the output pipe, which goes in to the engines. And this building is still unfinished. Another episode will probably be finishing this, so there's an empty room as well. And that output pipe brings out power into my substation, which obviously will carry out into the rest of this area that I have set out, but this is just the beginnings of it. And this is kind of a big battery where all the charge gets stored up, and then this is the output pipe. You got the input pipe over there, and the one that goes down feeds my tree farms, which I'll show as well, and the one that goes up is a temporary pipe to feed my quarry. I just needed to get a quarry running, and you can see that the quarry is only temporary because it just feeds into random chests. What the quarry is doing right now is I don't know how many blocks that is, but a semi-large area, and it's getting down. I know it's below block 32 because I've grabbed some gold already. Let's see if I've gotten anything new recently. I got some wood, so that means that I hit a what's it called, a mine shaft, abandoned mine shaft, so maybe I'll hit a chest there too. I know that there is a mine shaft under because I've done some mining down below, but I thought that that was outside of where I've been, so maybe if I go down into my personal mine I might hit this quarry. Over here is just a water pump that pumps water into the this little building here, which is just a kind of a logistics building for my tree farm. This half of the tree farm is not automated. The only part that's automated is the part that has floating blocks right here, or floating leaves right here. If I get into it, I'll show how this works in detail later, but basically this is what it looks like. You pump in dirt and fertilizer, and then it takes care of the rest for you. It mines, these are all apple oak trees, so it mines them and sends them via an output pipe, which I will show all the piping later. But it sends the wood and the apples to a chest in here, which takes the wood out and pulls it up and over. And the underground pipe goes over to the building with the engines, and the one above here goes to a minecart loading station, which will send charcoal or wood to the foundry, which is across the river here, which I'll show in just a second as well. So as you can see, this world is by no means finished, and I will continue to build on it. And there are a lot of small problems that I need to fix, which I'll do either on or off camera. Don't pay any attention to that building yet. It's completely empty. So this is the foundry, and what happens is in the back is also unfinished. There are two inputs and one output. The input is the chest cart that brings in the wood, which comes along this bridge from that loading station we talked about earlier. And that sends the wood up and over. And it's kind of hard to see, but there is one pipe that goes along and goes into this room here, which I can't get into because it's so tightly packed, but basically it's just a temporary storage system in case the furnaces get overloaded. It just holds the wood there for temporary purposes. And then it comes out and goes into these 5 furnaces here. And as you can see, there's some charcoal running. These all are full of charcoal, and they just turn the wood into charcoal, and then it sends it out. And each furnace feeds one line of furnaces. So each one has 3 furnaces that it feeds charcoal to. As you can see, there's still charcoal feeding through this one. Basically, if each furnace is full, it'll just keep scrolling around through, and once one furnace needs a charcoal, it'll pop right in, and the rest will keep running. And then the input comes in from the middle minecart loading terminal, which I don't have set up, but I can pretend to be a chest cart, and it pops out and starts to go out into the rest of the foundry, where it then feeds rather inefficiently, which I'll fix again, but it feeds into the furnaces here, and then they all feed out the black pipe, which goes up and over into the other loading station, which is full of many things. So that is the foundry in a nutshell, and I'll give you a top-down view from the catwalk. We gotta eat here first. This is what it looks like from up above. And then this is just roof access. So you can see a nice top-down view of everything. You got the minecart bridge, the power plant, the logistics for the tree farm building, and the big old quarry, and my very tiny animal pens for my large number of animals. I'll make actual pens eventually. Run back downstairs. We've already been out there. So that brings us to the newest building, which is still under construction, as you can see. This will be a big warehouse building. What'll happen is the quarry, once that one is done, the quarry system will get moved to the big lake out here, and it will send in a minecart full of everything that the quarry outputs, even those planks that come from the mine shaft, and it will come into here, and via this little square right there will be where the minecarts come in. And then it will have a little unloading station right here where it pulls everything out into a chest, and anything that needs to be smelted gets put into another chest in this row of bays, and everything else gets pushed over into this half of the building where it gets sorted into its appropriate areas. So cobblestone will go one way, sand will go another way, any valuables that don't need to be smelted go another way. And then another set of minecarts will come in from the minecart station in the back of the foundry over there. It'll come in, grab all the, it'll drop off any of the processed ores, and then it'll pick up the raw ores, and then it'll go back to the foundry. Okay, so I'm back awake now. I just went to bed and now it's sunrise. So that minecart that comes in will bring in any of the processed materials, drop that off, and those will be sent to a valuables chest that is the same chest or in the same area as all the diamonds and other valuables that don't need to be smelted. And then, so this top half of the area of the warehouse will be all item logistics, sorting things like that, making sure everything is where it needs to go. And then each of these columns, which will all get extended up as well, will have a pipe coming down from the top floor, and then there will be a chest. I don't have a chest with me. There'll be a chest right here. It'll be labeled with whatever I'm gonna put in it. So this entire bottom floor will be all filled with chests around the pillars that will hold anything that I need, and it will all be sorted. So there will be one pillar will be all wood, one pillar will be all valuables or like iron or something like that, and there will be some automatic crafting tables upstairs as well that make um, other things such as like pickaxes and things like that. So I might have a pillar dedicated to tools. And then this room right here, I haven't figured out what I want to do with this bit of wall here. I don't know if I want a window or a regular wall. I'm kind of leaning towards another window because this is kind of a good view. But this room, I don't really have a purpose for it yet, but it's being constructed for aesthetics. So that's what this building will be like. And some things might change as far as the design goes. Currently my plan is to have that roof continue over the second set of bays, and then it will stop, and those two rightmost bays will have another level above it. Still don't know what I'm going to put in that level. And I am stationed right next to a village, which is kind of nice because I can go trade with the village people if I need to. The village is kind of ugly because it spawned in the water, so I'm in the process of making that look pretty as well. So I think that is an overall tour of my factory system so far. I'll give another overhead view of it, of what it looks like. And I think with that, I will end the first episode. And if you have any problems with the fact that I'm in VR, you can let me know in the comments. People have said that if I tilt my head to one side, that it looks a little funky in a video. So I try to keep my head straight, but if I start to do it a little too much, you can let me know, and I'll try and fix it. So thanks for watching.